Hyundai, Marcellus Wiley in the building right now.
Calm down.
Calm down?
Calm down.
Did you prepay your taxes? Because I look like the attorney. And Emmanuel Acho, what you over there doing?
My dog, it's just Monday. I'm just in the vest right now. We chilling.
Okay.
We chilling today.
New audition for the new Aquaman right here. Getting this started. Let's go to Dallas, y'all, where things just keep getting worse for the Cowboys. Already without Dak Prescott, and yesterday, Andy Dalton left the game with a concussion after a brutal hit by Washington linebacker John Bostic. Went bombastic on him. Cowboys scored only 3 points, and Ezekiel Elliott rushed for just 45 yards. Yuck. On the other side, the Dallas defense has now given up the most points through 7 games in team history. Acho, Cowboys season over?
The Cowboys season, Marcellus, it is over, and this isn't one of those, oh my God, the sky is falling, one of these early on, week 1, week 2, or week 3 type of reactions. When I look at it, they're an undisciplined team, they're an unmotivated team, and to some degree, they're an untalented team. I say untalented because they're untalented at positions that really matter. Left tackle, defensive back, and quarterback. They're hamstrung because they have a ton of playmakers, but they don't have a quarterback to get the ball to all of these playmakers. So all of these playmakers are rendered useless on the outside. We talk about the Cowboys' talent, but the receivers can't pass the ball to themselves. So I say undisciplined, unmotivated, to a degree untalented. If you are either the worst or second worst team in the worst division in football, that does not bode well for your season. Before the game, head coach Mike McCarthy said, let's just win the division. Well, the Washington football team not only beat you, they embarrassed you. They took your manhood on national television, and we all were there to lie witness to it. The Cowboys season is indeed over. It's not hot take-ish, but it's your 2 wins. 2 wins versus 2 terrible teams, the Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. 2 wins in which by scoreboard and scoreboard alone did you win that game. It's not like you necessarily outperformed. It's not like you dominated. Now, can't take a win away from a football team. I know how hard it is to win a game in the NFL. It's hard to get one. Can't take it away from them, but I can qualify and quantify their performance in those 2 wins, the only 2 wins they have on the season. The Cowboys season is indeed over. Continue to play the games, go out there and see what players will continue to fight, because I didn't see much fight from anybody yesterday. But yes, bro, the season for the Cowboys is done.
No, you know it's not done. That's why you didn't have the same emphasis, the same emphatic response.
I wanted to start a little calm. We have a 2-hour show. We got a 2-hour show. I don't want to run out of gas on y'all like the Cowboys have been running out of gas.
Oh, really? Oh, now he wants to wake up. During your whole soliloquy, I didn't hear the same Acho.
Oh, man.
All right, so you want to come out calm. Well, I'm going to come out on fire.
Do that.
You know the season's not over. It's a relative experience in their division. Amazing, we're looking at a team right now that is the Dallas Cowboys, who are sitting there only a half a game out of first place. So when you say your season is over, you're not being literal, because we could still win this division. Don't we play the Philadelphia Eagles going forward a couple times? Yes, we do. So they can easily make up this distance. But let's talk about why there's a distance to make up in the first place. Dallas Cowboys, you said untalented. That's interesting, because this team was lauded as the most talented team, certainly in their division, maybe in the NFL for a second. However, like you said, the injuries have really taken its toll. And then you look at the situation in terms of discipline. I don't like that angle. And all these we're going to go deeper into. I don't like that angle, because when you look at a team, you say, are they disciplined or not? Typically, you look at their penalties, and you say, are they one of the most penalized teams in the league? The Dallas Cowboys are tied for 5th. But let's look at the teams that are worse than the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, get your Google on, boy. You know who's the worst team in terms of penalties this year? Most penalized team? Arizona Cardinals. Oh, they look kind of good. Did they just beat an undefeated team? Yes, they did. You know who else is in the top 5 worse than the Dallas Cowboys? Buffalo Bills. They look pretty good. What about the Tampa Bay Bucks? Oh, so the correlation between discipline, penalties, and lack of coaching, I don't buy that, and I'm not buying it by the numbers this year. Let's look at this team as a team that is trying to figure itself out. One, there is no continuity in the coaching staff and what they have now at quarterback, or is now offensively. Let's just be real about that.
That's fair.
2, there's no continuity on the front line in terms of the offensive line because of all the injuries. And 3, they've lost their greatest leader. Not just on the field, Dak Prescott, who led them to the #1 offense, the #1 pass offense before he was injured. Let's talk about the fact that there's a void in this locker room. Let's talk about there's a void on the field, intangibles, that Dak Prescott made up for both sides of the football, not just offensively and not just at the quarterback position. You add all that up, how can the season be over? Because we're still in striking distance of first place, and we're still the Dallas Cowboys figuring it out on the fly and not too far removed from being
They might be in striking distance, but to use the boxing reference, their jab does not have enough reach. The season is over, Marcellus, because they're not going to make the necessary coaching changes. They can't make the necessary coaching changes. There is a saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So rather than using these words, I can show you not just in picture form, but in video form. Your boy's headed to the big board. Because, Marcellus, they say, if a player doesn't learn from a player mistake, then it's a player issue. But if a player doesn't learn from another player's mistake, then it's a coaching issue. But let's look at it. Just yesterday, the Cowboys versus the Washington football team. What is really going on with the Cowboys? Up top, Trayvon Diggs is really in man-to-man versus Terry McLaurin. It's a cover 4, but it's really man-to-man. That safety, he's in man on the tight end. If you're in man, watch your man. If you're in man, what you can't do is watch the quarterback. Trayvon Diggs, why are you looking at the quarterback? If you really have this dude man-to-man, it was at that moment that he knew that he was going to be on a Nacho highlight reel. Now, Trayvon Diggs made the mistake. I'm not just going to clown him. It's a coaching issue because what happened last week, when you see a pattern, Marcellus, that's how I start to know the players really got issues. It's cover 3. You got to be as deep as the deepest, as wide as the widest. Darryl Worley this time on Christian Kirk. Pattern, match, zone. He has him in man. Why are you staggered with your feet square? Open up and get ready to run. What's that mean? Trayvon Diggs on DeAndre Hopkins. He's already open, ready to run. Again, what did I tell you? Cover 3. Deep is the deepest, wide is the widest. Trayvon Diggs is deep, safety's deep, but this dude not deep, nor is he wide enough, and the Cowboys get scored on again. If a player doesn't learn from his own mistake, player issue. If a player doesn't learn from a teammate's mistake, coaching issue. That's why I think Cowboys can't fix their issues.
Wow. Hey, way to point out what a lot of people are seeing right now, Acho, in terms of this team is lacking something in its structure. But I don't want to point at the coaches because I've been on the field too many times where the outsiders were pointing at our coaches and us on the inside were realizing it was the man in the mirror. Let me give you a little short synopsis of my playing career. I played for 6 different coaches. And when you talk about my coaches, I had a lot of losing seasons. I didn't play quarterback, so I didn't have that much impact on the team because if everybody was playing like I played, Super Bowl champions, right? Now, let me be serious about this. I had coaches by the name of Marv Levy, Marty Schottenheimer, Mike Riley, Bill Parcells, Wade Phillips, and Jack Del Rio. Now, when people hear those names, they automatically start ranking who's the best coach, who's the worst coach. And I know who they're going to put up there at the top, Bill Parcells, Marty Schottenheimer, or Marv Levy. Of my 6 head coaches, 4 of them gave me L's, losing seasons. And you want to know those names? Marv Levy, Marty Schottenheimer, Mike Riley, Bill Parcells. You want to hear those seasons? 6-10, 6-10, 5-11, 4-12. Those 4 big names gave us the losing seasons. You know who gave me my winning seasons? Wade Phillips and Jack Del Rio, 12-4. All right, Jack, 11-5, 10-6. Those are the other guys. Here's my point.
What's your point?
My point is this. You went to the board, did a good job, of pointing out how players were not in the right situation in terms of their discipline, mindset, or maybe even in scheme. But I want to sit there and push back and say, it's not so much that you're being out-coached. You're being outperformed. It's not so much you're being out-coached. You're being out-executed. We get on here all the time.
Yep.
And if we mess up, when we mess up, we can't look at our producers because a lot of times we're giving the right opportunity and the right platform to do the right thing. However, the discipline comes on the individual. It doesn't come on the collective, and it certainly doesn't come on the coach. Of all my errors and my losing seasons, I couldn't look outside, I had to look inside.
Here's my issue, and this is why I don't think the Cowboys can repair their current issues. It is because, Marcellus, there are 11 players on defense at one time.
Yeah.
If the players continue to not be coached to not make or fix a mistake that someone else makes, you're going to see 11 of the exact same mistakes. Hyperbole to a degree, sure, but there are 5 defensive backs on the field at a time. Are you going to give up 5 deep balls until you finally each figure out, let me learn from my mistake? To use your example of us coming up here on air, if you one day mess up a read, then the next day you might not mess it up.